I'm Dan from Localazy, and in this video, we'll have a look at the localization plugin for Directus CMS. We're going to start with an empty Directus project, prepare our collections for localization right from the beginning. This preparation is described in greater detail in Directus' official guide on content translation. I'll leave a link in the description below. So let's start by creating languages collection. Click on Create Collection and call it Languages. Primary key field type will select manually entered string, call it code. Here we can leave all blank, and then we'll create two more fields, one input type for language name, and the other one for direction, whether it's written from left to right or right to left, and it's going to be a drop-down field type. Let's call it direction. Default value is going to be LTR for left to right. And the options are going to be left to right and right to left. RTL. And let's also create two languages. The one is going to be our default one, or our main one. It's going to be ENUS, which stands for American English. And the other one is going to be the E, which stands for German. Now, let's create collections that we will want to translate. To do that, we'll go to Settings, Data Model, and in here I'm going to create a collection called Articles. We can add status and sort as the initial fields, and inside we'll create a single field of type translations. And here we'll choose that the related languages collection is languages we just created. The language indicator field is code, direction is already pre-filled, and our default or main language is going to be American English. And we now go back to the data model. You'll see that this has created a new collection dedicated for articles translations. Open that one, and in here we'll create fields that are going to be translated. So click on Create Field. The first one is going to be a simple input. We'll call that title. The second one is going to be a text area, which will be served. The last one is going to be content, which is written in Markdown. Perfect. And let's also create one sample article. I'm going to copy content from our article about introduction and installation, the Directus plugin. And you can see that we're filling in the default language, which is ENUS, American English, but I could also change it to the other language, German, but naturally that one is still empty. We'll translate it in a bit. Title, translation, and also content. We can save it. We have our article, which is prepared for translations. Now we need to sync that into Localize. To do that, we need to first enable the plugin. So head to Settings, Project Settings, and find Modules list. You'll see that if you've installed Localazy as the NPM package and as an extension to your Directus project, you'll find the Localazy tool here. Enable it, save, and this will add a new link to the sidebar. When we open this section, you'll see that it says that we are not yet connected to Localazy, and that's because we first need to finish the project setup. Let's first finish the part related to Directus itself. So we're linking the languages collection, which is already pre-filled, the language code field, which is also pre-filled, and as the source language, I'll choose American English. For the access token, we first need to create a project in Localazy. So head over to Localazy and create a new project. I'll call mine my Directus project, and I'll select American English, the source language. Afterwards, let's find the Directus integration, and in there you'll find in the second step that we should generate an access token. So let's do that, and this will take us to Localize console. And here, when I look up Directus, I'll click on this generate token icon. Will generate an access token, which I can copy and fill in here the Localizy project. Now, if we click on Overview, you'll see that we are now connected to Localizy, to my Directus project, and we'll see that the source languages are the same, that they are both mapped to American English. So now let's head into Import and Export section, and in here you can choose what kind of content you want to export and import between Directus and Localizy. We have one collection here, so I'll select all the translatable fields, title, excerpt, and I'll export that to Localizy. And after a brief moment, this is included, and back in my Directus project, if I refresh it, you'll see that the American English and its content has been indeed added to Localizy. We want to translate our content into German, so let's look up DE underscore DE, which stands for the same German we've created in Directus. And since it's only 3 entries, we can translate that manually one by one. To speed it up, we'll use the suggestions provided below in the suggestion tab. So this suggestion and this suggestion. Lastly, let's use this one. This one looks good. It maintains formatting. And hooray, everything's been translated. And now we can go back to our Directus project and hit import to Directus. And now if we go back to our article, we should see that the German translation has been provided, generated by Localizy, and everything has been pre-filled. Naturally, if you add more articles or more collections, you'll be able to choose what kind of content you want to synchronize and export and import between Localizy and Directus, and gradually translate all your content. I hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!